welcome to another video. Today is about everything you need to know about rolling fenders. Let's talk about it. It's very important because you can ruin your tires, not ruin them, but mess them up like I did myself. So let me show you what the fender looks like real quick. Lip right here can be pushed in so it's flat with the fender, but then you can crack the paint along right here, which you do not want to do. So that's why I'm having Leo come show us how to do it professionally with his tools and his heat gun. And you guys can learn something, I can learn something, but I want to show you what happens to the tires if you do not roll fenders like I did, and potentially the rims. Normally you don't have this issue, but when you got a big piece of meat like we do with a wide wheel, you're gonna run into this issue with fitment. So when I had it on lowering springs and it was plenty high, but I hit a bump on the freeway and the fender goes all the way down, scratches the tire. Like, look at all these pieces that are coming up from the tire that you can peel off. That's from the fender hitting. This didn't happen until about 5 days of driving it like this. And then it actually, let me show you. You can see it right here. The fender barely touched our brand new wheel. And to me, kind of ruined it. I'm really bummed. You probably won't be able to see it at a show, but I tried to scratch it off. So Leo's gonna show us how to roll fenders so you don't have tires coming off and also scratching brand new rims. As this is Leo, at Leo Rolls Fenders on Instagram, right?
Wrong. It's at Leo Fender Rolls.
That's right.
On Instagram.
How many fenders do you think you've rolled in your entire life?
Oh, wow. I mean, I've been rolling fenders for over 5 years now, so I don't know, thousands.
Oh my god.
Thousands of fenders at this point.
Trevor, you want to spin around? Leo's actually an STI owner.
Jack up the car, which that's already done. Then we go ahead and mount the fender roller here. Use these little spacers to get them properly lined up here. We'll just do 2 for now, and then I'll do the rest in a second. Okay, the handbrake is on right now, so this fender roller is not going to swing anywhere. Once we're ready to start rolling, I'll have Cameron undo the e-brake there, and then we'll go from there. The next thing you do is you basically set up your roll. Right now, this is where we're going to end up at the end. You got to put the fender roller to what you want it to do. So for example, right now we're starting off with a nice right angle of a fender lip, basically an L shape. So what I want it to do is to start curving that inside lip right here up. And to do that is you got to set up your fender roller in a way that it'll start pushing that inner lip up. You can't start it just directly straight, because that's not going to do anything. That's just going to push your fender out. It's going to do damage, and you don't want that. So you got to start at a nice angle, nice and easy. Fender rolling isn't a one, swoosh swoosh and you're done. You got to go little by little until you have the fenders flat exactly how you want them. So yeah, but before we do that, before we set it up, we got to use the good old heat gun, and we heat up the paint really well. What the heat gun does is it actually helps with the metal, makes it a little more malleable, so easier to roll, but it also helps with your paint, helps avoid cracking and makes the paint a little more malleable as well. So all in all, this whole combination is what helps you not destroy things. I'm sure you've heard of wooden bats as fender rollers, which do work sometimes, but you really have to know what you're doing in that case. So Eastwood here makes a nice little tool, and that's what my go-to is the Eastwood fender roller, and that's about it.
Right inside here, Leo was showing me that this tab where this bolt is that holds the fender on, you can actually grind. Let me see if I can get low enough. You can actually kind of grind it off a little bit right to where it's almost touching the bolt, so you have a little bit more clearance if you're running a pretty gnarly wheel setup with some more offset or a wider wheel. So this guy right here, you can kind of see exactly where he's talking about. You can grind it off a little bit to make some more space. Leo just finished this side. We found out that there had been some body work done. Like right here, there's rust coming out. Leo pointed out, which is predicted with this thing. There's a ton of rust, and it's probably some car from the East Coast. Who knows? But the price paid, can't complain. This, come right here, Trevor. Show them real quick. Like, you see this crack right here is disgusting. It's been like body work or something, Bondo, whatever you call it. But other than that, like the fender is rolled, it's rounded, it's not like a sharp edge at all. So if your wheel did hit it, worst case scenario, depending on your suspension setup, like if you roll fenders like this, like it's not gonna do anything but just kind of skim by and be smooth. So you can rub your hands on it. It's not sharp because Leo knows what he's doing. But I want to ask him a few questions so you guys, if you don't live in Phoenix, can know what to do. Well, if they live in Phoenix, they're gonna hit you up on Instagram and just let you do it because you're gonna do it right. But if they don't, what are some tips and tricks if they do have one of these tools? What are some things to look out for that you should have them not do?
Well, first things first, you need your heat gun. Make sure you heat up that metal, that paint really nice, not too much, because if you heat it up too much, you can get bubbles, which that won't be good. But yeah, heat up your fenders. I mean, that could save cracking in your paint, and it could save any damage potentially that can happen to warping your fender. So heat gun's key, and just take your time. I mean, you know, you're not going to start off by rolling a fender and going completely to the flat mode. You got to take it little by little. So you start off, you know, just little by little, take your time, see what's going on with the fender. Every time you do a roll, look at it, see how it's pushing it out, and yeah, that's about it, man. You just gotta take your time little by little. I learn something new every time I roll, so yeah, but the key is heat. You can roll fenders with a bat if you want, as long as you have a good amount of heat.
Cool. All right, well, you guys heard it from Leo. I appreciate Leo coming out. Hit him up on Instagram. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Now we're gonna have proper fitment when we put the new suspension on, so stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next one. Later. Bonus material, Leo has a dope STI, and he has equal length headers that I've never ridden in a car with equal length headers yet. So we're gonna go for a rip down the street real quick and show you guys what it sounds like if you're like me and have never heard it. All right, quick run through.
So I have my 2015 STI with an IAG Stage 2 Tough Short Block installed by Rawworks here in Phoenix, Arizona. And then it was tuned by Snail Performance AZ. But basically, yeah, you got your TGV deletes, you have your IAG AOS. What else do we got? The flex fuel kit, the fuel pressure sensor, flex fuel's down there, turbo smart blow off valve, standard things, the normal Cobb filter with the box. But what's coming next is my PRL front mount intercooler, which is at home. I got an FP black for that. I got some bigger injectors at home chilling, a ton of fuel pressure or fuel modifications as well at home, just ready to be thrown at this, and then we'll hopefully be in the 500s. We'll see. Makes about 300 right now, so nothing impressive, but what can you do?
It does still have a little bit of a rumble, like
yeah,
you're saying. Like, it's not like, oh, you lose the rumble. It's still there, especially at low RPM.